you finally awake from your dreams, and you open your eyes and realize that you're still human, that you're still alive. That is the true nightmare.
Or at least that's what the eyeballs in my brain tell me. Every time, I don't know why. Hey, I'm back. It's been a while. This is my Arcane build. Full Arcane this time. And I say this time because the reason I haven't posted any more Bloodborne PvP videos, which by the way, I still play Bloodborne PvP in 2019. Yep, still doing it. It's still fun for me, so fuck it, whatever. Leave me alone. I like it. So the reason I say I'm trying this again, kind of, is because my hard drive actually died, which is my PS4 hard drive died, which is the reason why I haven't been posting as much. To anyone that cares, it's not like I have a huge following, but you know, whatever. Should explain that still. So I already made this character, or I had already made it, but the thing about it was that I spent points into strength and skill because I was using Ludwig's and the Holy Moonlight Sword. Ludwig's was fine because it has good scaling with Arcane, but the Holy Moonlight Sword was only doing damage with the beams, and I wasn't really feeling it. So, you know, good timing, because my hard drive died shortly after, and I said, hey, fuck it, I'm just gonna remake the character, but this time I'm just gonna go full Arcane. So, which is also the reason why I didn't show you the stats, because there's nothing to show. It's 45 Arcane and a bunch of health, and that's it. So, Arcane build is my favorite build in Bloodborne ever. Of all the builds that you can use in this game, and there are a few, you know, people, there's only 2 builds, shut the fuck up. Of all the builds you can use, this one is my favorite because you got the Arcane tools, which are great, and they do a lot of damage if you invest in Arcane. So, at the start of the game, and this is the magic of the Arcane build, you don't have a lot of options. You're basically limited to some fire gems you can get from the very first Chalice dungeon, I believe. Yeah, from the layer 2. There's some guys with the flaming axes. They can give you some cursed fire gems, and you can slap that on a cleaver, which I'm using. I'm using the, not the cleaver, but I'm using the saw spear. Like I've said in other videos, I just like how it looks better than the saw cleaver, and that's about the entire reason as to why I'm using it. Primarily using it as an R1 mashing tool against people that are also R1 mashing. It's also good to have because the Coast Parasite is kind of slow, so you want to complement it with a quicker weapon, which I've talked about before. You know, you want to kind of cover for your quote-unquote primary weapons weaknesses, and the main weakness of the Coast Parasite is that it's a little bit slow. Very effective. It does a fuck ton of damage. It does a truck full of fuck worth of damage. And that is another thing that I wanted to address, is that I am doing a lot of damage, all of the damage. And the reason is because I actually farmed for some top tier gems. Now, I know that I've been an advocate for not farming top tier gems. But the reason is because if you're doing an Arcane build, you pretty much need the best gems, because otherwise you're not going to do enough damage, and you got nothing to scare people with. Remember, I'm always thinking about the builds and the characters in at least a 2v1 scenario, right? So if you don't have something to threaten people with, you're kind of screwed. And that shows with my my other sort of Arcane character, which was my Halden character, because he only used the Hunter's Axe with bolt gems and Arcane gems. He didn't output enough damage to scare anyone, and you can only do so much with the Hunter tools, the spells. They're great, but you're not gonna kill 3 people just with tools, okay? Look at that. Yuri. Murdering a guy in a corner. If I had a nickel for every time I saw this lady murder people, I would have a lot of nickels. I would be a nickel man. So so you want to ideally have some top tier gems with your full arcane, because you're not going to do damage with viscerals and you're not going to kill people only with tools. I'm not saying you cannot do it at all, but it's pretty fucking difficult considering that you can spam your dash around and the mobility in general is so much that you're going to have a hard time. So ideally you want to have very good gems. I don't have the absolute top tier gems, but I have some gems that you can get from the list that you can find online of the good shit. The list of the good shit. So, of course, this is not really a character, also. The character is actually just a guy that's in the choir, and he elevated himself into a higher level of existence, which is why he looks like this thing. And he's hunting people down because he wants to share the joy of being an alien. It's great. I wish I could do that in real life. But Arcane builds, they're very fun. I recommend them, really, if you're looking for something different. It's like using magic in Dark Souls, except it's way more fun because it's not boring. Basically, if you don't know where to start, just Google it, YouTube it. There's like 100 trillion guides. The false death chalices are also something that you can take advantage of to speed up the process. The most time-consuming thing is looking for some root chalices so you can visit every glyph ever. But other than that, it's pretty easy. You can handle it with a fire gem and your saw cleaver or your saw spear, and you'll take care of pretty much every other dungeon by yourself. But yeah, just wanted to poke my head out and say hello to anyone still watching Bloodborne PvP videos in 2019. I'm still doing them. I'm still gonna do them. Anyway, I'm gonna let you see the rest of this. Next time you see me, it will be giving people a tour of the Nightmare of Menses. Yeah, it'll make sense. I got paid to do a little tour. They sponsor me to. It's a whole system with Mikolash, and you'll see. Okay, it'll make sense when the video comes out. It's gonna be great. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.